So good morning, everybody. It is, it looks like it's about 9:46. And I'd like to call the Special County Board meeting of November 30th, 2021 to order. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Ellen. Bates. Berman.
Berman here.
Brown.
Brown here.
Davis. Are we not getting Ford? Okay. Fraz.
Us here.
Gums.
Comes here.
Iqbal.
Iqbal here.
Kenyon.
Here.
Yes.
Vice President.
Kopi.
Kobe present.
Leonard.
Leonard here.
Lewis.
Lewis here.
Martin.
Martin present.
Molina.
Molina present.
Sanchez.
Sanchez here.
Shepro.
Shepro present.
Silva.
Silva is here.
Strathman.
Strathman here.
Surgis.
Burgess here.
Tepe.
Deppie here.
Wallace.
Here.
Present.
Allen present. Good morning.
Thank you.
Who's here?
Deb Allen.
Deb Allen. Hi, Deb. Welcome.
Bates is here. Did you hear me?
Okay, Ms. Bates, I have you.
Bates here.
Thank you.
We're missing Mr. Davis.
Ms. Davis. Mr. Davis, are you present?
Bates is present.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
Shepro, I would ask unanimous consent to place the notice and call for the special meeting on file in the minutes of the meeting.
Yes, we need a second. And may we have unanimous consent? Yes, online, please. Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, of course.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Very good.
Comes
Mr.
is a
Dodd?
yes.
Gums is a yes, too. Thank you. And Mr. Davos, are you back? No, okay. Okay, very good. Mr. Iqbal, could you please stand and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to
the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I know we have some people signed up for public comment. As a matter of protocol, we ask the speakers to please refrain from statements or remarks or conduct that may become disruptive to the conduct of the county board or which may cause a disturbance. For those people who are speaking to a matter that has to deal with the county board agenda today, you'll have 5 minutes. Anything that is off agenda, you may have 3 minutes. So our first speaker, I believe, is Mr. Avalar.
Is he on agenda or off agenda?
And Mr. Avalar, are you on agenda or off agenda?
Madam Chair, I am on agenda.
Then you have 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know that this is the end of a long road today, Madam Chair and County Board members, concerning the 2021 reapportionment, and the finish line is in sight. I am grateful that I was given the opportunity to give public input during the public input open houses 2 weeks ago. And it looks like that one of the amendments that I suggested was going to be potentially adopted. I know Mr. Fonstock will be presenting that as part of his presentation that was not available online. But basically, if you look at the top right map, it's only considered stretching the 23rd district out, which is to be inclusive of the entire Village of Algonquin future land use plan. And that was the justification. The census blocks, I believe, are Rutland Township 2000, 2001, and 2003. And Mr. Fonstock will elaborate on that more. And I've let him know that I'm sticking around in case that should be any board questions. And I'm sure Mr. Fonstock will be able to answer all questions, but if they need to defer to me, I'd be happy to do that. So I know you've got a busy agenda today. You've got a lot, so I'm going to yield back the balance of my time, and thank you very much.
Madam Chair, is that the first use of a electronic pointer during public comments?
Sure, I thought it was very handy. Is William Erickson here? Mr. Erickson, are you online? Okay. The next speaker I have is Katie Bocci. Did I pronounce the name correctly?
Thank you. It's Bhakti. But you were close. Yes.
And
thank you.
are you speaking on topic or?
I'm speaking on the agenda.
Oh, very
Yes.
good.
Yeah, I'm here to speak about the proposed budget resolutions. And I urge you just to vote yes on everything and milk as much as you can from us. Currently in DC, politicians are shoving a Build Back Better package down our throats with a $2 trillion invoice. So at this point, it doesn't matter. They should all be called the "You Work, We Spend" resolutions. That's what they are. So much for the dream of Jefferson and other founding patriots of self-rule and small government, power to the people, and politicians and bureaucrats who represented the citizens instead of picking their pockets at every opportunity and chasing down babies to muzzle or inoculate with mystery serums. That dream is dead, or is it? The republic that was established in 1776, the only country without a monarch or dictator, was murdered unconstitutionally by the Act of 1871, the very same year the establishment of the District of Columbia. Who's Columbia anyway? This act also established a corporation called the United States of America in all capital letters. In 1871, America stopped being a republic and became a corporation owned and controlled by foreign bloodline families, their banksters, and their bribed and blackmailed puppets. This happened through a loan. America was broken in ruins after the Civil War, and control freaks, global control freaks, we call them globalists today, dangled the bottomless pit of money before a drunken President Grant with a promise to build back better. But you don't make those loans without some collateral, do you? And what was the collateral for this loan to bail out America? In 1871, full control of the country and the future labor of every American who had the audacity to believe they were born free. Our entire lifetimes and those of our parents, grandparents, we only had the illusion of freedom. That's why suicide is always a top cause of death in the United States, and why antidepressants are a top-selling drug. We are born free. It's only the government and the people in the government who stand in the way of that, our inalienable rights and freedoms. With taxes, levies, resolutions, mandates, and acts, they always have to name them and sell them as if it's good for you. You need this. We have no choice. For 150 years, America and Americans have been held hostage, enslaved, and robbed blind, from within and from without. The proof of a captured America, besides the Pope standing in the DC Capitol in 2015, giving his State of the Union address as the leader of a religion, is that gold fringe around the flag. The American flag does not have gold fringe around it. The gold fringe isn't a decoration. That flag is found in every government building, courthouses, school buildings, White House. It's a message of who controls the government in America, and it's not we the people. But here's the good news. The corporation of the United States has been dissolved last year after 150 years in existence, without most of us even knowing it existed in the first place. So I ask you, spend as much as you want of other people's money. As my dad used to say, it's only money. The more you spend of it, the more Americans wake up to this totalitarian nonsense. It's a note, it's not money. It's the Federal Reserve filled with a bunch of Masonic symbols. However you vote, nope, it won't matter. Nothing can stop what is coming. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. If there's no other public comment, may I have a motion and a second to place those public comments on file?
Board moves.
Board,
Fry second.
Mr. Frost, seconds. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Mr. Davis, did you arrive? Ford,
Yes.
Braz?
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Hopi,
Copy, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin. Martin. Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Burgess, Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicki.
Yes.
That passes.
Motion passes. It's time for my comments, and I'm going to keep them incredibly brief. Today, we have a lot to pass. We have a lot to consider. We're going to be having you consider passing a map, district map that is going to be a centennial map. So it'll be around for 10 years. And it's an important decision that you all make. You worked very hard on it. There's been lots of time, lots of energy put on the revisions of all of these maps. And I hope you'll give it your due consideration on which of the possible maps you are going to consider passing. And I do hope, as I joked around previously, that one of the maps will be passed. Which transitions me to the next item. We're also going to be talking in depth, and I hope we have a robust conversation and a sensitive conversation about where Kane County is with its budget. Now, I've been told that due to the maps and the passion around the maps, that there has not been a lot of time to really carefully look at the budget. So whatever we do with the budget, whatever your vote is this year, I want to make sure that we're all aware that once this budget is passed, that we start very quickly taking a look at what we're going to be doing for next year's budget and be sensible and work together as a team to find best practices, opportunities, additional revenue sources, and if we need to taking a look at how we can possibly trim or make the county much more efficient so that we spend our taxpayers' dollars wisely and appropriately and equitably. So we've got a lot on our plate today. And I ask, you need to get a cup of coffee, you need to get water, you need to stretch during the conversation. Please feel free to do so because I need your focus and the county needs your attention to this. But we have one housekeeping issue we have to take care of. So with your approval, I'd like to immediately discuss item number 21-510, approving the payment of commercial insurance. And I will turn that over to Mr. Sturgis so he can lead us in this conversation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Rich, if you're in the room, we've bumped you from the bottom of the pile to the top of the pile out of respect for your time. And this is going to be a lengthy meeting. So the last time we spoke, there was some conversation regarding the cyber insurance. And Rich, why don't you just what you showed me this morning, when we told you last week and reported that this is a moving target, information came in way late last night, if not first thing this morning, to bring that up for our consideration. And
So, yes, thank you. The cyber that's included
Rich,
on.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you please spell your last name?
Yes, sorry, it's Ryan.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so since we last met with Cliff, the cyber market has shrunk from about 10 markets down to about 4. And we have been out to all of them, including the Lloyd's market. And as of 9:16 this morning, as I was in the parking lot, I have an alternate proposal
as a result of a phone conversation that we had with Mr. Fonstock yesterday and his team, who are doing incredible things to improve security so that we were able to get the quotes in the first place. So I really want to say thank you for that. But so what's the new information that came in from Star Companies is an A-rated excellent company from AM Best. And it's a $1 million limit. And the deductible that was proposed by the incumbent is $1 million deductible. This from Star is a $500,000 deductible. So it's an improvement by half, but the premium is about 2.5 times more. So it's $100,000 premium is what they're proposing. So the decision at the moment would be between the $1 million deductible at around 39,000 or the $500,000 deductible at 100,000 even.
Yeah, I wish there was good news. But the reality is that we're being asked to test our risk tolerance this morning. And I just simply can't imagine not having a full $1 million for ransom type security hacks available to us. And in this particular case, a $39,000 policy that has $1 million deductible doesn't seem like much of a policy to me. $100,000 policy with a $500,000 deductible seems to be a little bit more palatable. We have saved money across the boards in our health insurance. So if we look at this as a global event, you know what, we've made fabulous headway in one aspect, and we've lost ground on another, and it has absolutely nothing to do with our behaviors, our management. It is purely the market. Rich, if I'm speaking out of line.
Exactly right. No, you're exactly on target. The market has, post-COVID, even pre-COVID, we were heading into a rise in liability costs. We did have some claims, 3 to 4 years ago that we've been dealing with, but essentially, you're right. It's simply the market condition that we found ourselves in right now.
So Rich, my only question to you and Mr. Leonard, I might throw this out too, is we were to find something 3 months from now. Do we have the ability to cancel this policy?
Yes.
And move without large penalty and move to something more palatable?
There would be no penalty. The only thing that the condition would be that they may have a 25% minimum premium earned. So we would just keep the policy, and let's say that was
For 1 quarter?
Yeah, 1 quarter.
Okay.
But you wouldn't lose anything. Your premium would have gone to cover that policy, but there's no penalty to cancel.
So Madam Chair, I guess my question, this is really hot. Is this really loud or is it?
This is too.
Yeah. My question to the board, I guess, would be maybe a straw poll to say, what is your tolerance on this particular one? And then a motion to move the entire package forward. I know.
$61,000.
Yes.
Increase.
What's your recommendation, Cliff? Shepro question.
My recommendation is, I guess in this particular case, I would gamble for the $1 million deductible and save the money while we continue. I mean, and I wouldn't be saying that if we were just going to leave this in place, but knowing that it's just a stopgap while we're continuing to research, I guess I'm okay with that. On the other hand, if I was looking at my wife at the kitchen table and telling her, yeah, we're assuming $500,000 of additional risk, but we're saving $60,000 while we're researching, Audrey would say, well, do we have an extra $500,000 to cover it if we need to? So that's what I'm asking you guys. With a question, I apologize.
Cliff, could you restate the 2 options?
Rich, go ahead.
So same limit on both options, a $1 million limit, liability limit. The deductible is equal to that limit on the first option. It's a $1 million deductible. But the second option, same limit, $1 million with a $500,000 deductible. So half of the deductible. And we're, that's the without going to the London market, say the Lloyd's of London market, their restrictions on the security procedures that the county would have to invoke would be prohibitive to do those. What we're doing right now with Mr. Fonstock and everything has been acceptable to Access, to Star, to Travelers, to all the companies we went out to. So we're happy with that. But those two options, same limit, $1 million. One is a $1 million deductible. The other is a $500,000 deductible.
And one costs?
First cost is 38. It's in this current resolution. It's 38,374. That is the 1 million with a 1 million deductible. The second option with Star is 1 million with a 500,000, and the premium is $100,000. That's for the $60,000.
And Rich, just to rub salt in the wound, do you know offhand what we were paying last year and what our coverage was?
It was around $19,000 with a $25,000 deductible. Not available today.
That's the kick in the pants, folks. That's, I mean.
It's not available.
Question, please, Bates. Question,
Yes,
please.
Ms. Bates, hold on. I'm recognizing Mr. Iqbal.
Okay.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I have a question for Mr. Ryan. If the liability limit,
Mr.
hear you.
Iqbal,
if the liability limit is 1 million. And
is this still?
deductible
Okay.
is-
Sir,
Mike,
the
please.
Microphone.
Okay. If the liability
It's
limit.
not on.
as I
I don't think that one works very well.
Need to be fairly close to it. One is better. Okay, better.
Better.
As I understand, the liability limit is 1 million. And in one case, the deductible is also 1 million.
Correct.
So what are we gaining if the liability and deductibles are the same?
The easiest way to think of that would be if we had a ransomware attack against the county for $2 million, you'd have $1 million of coverage with $1 million deductible. So you still have to, withstand the $1 million deductible first before they pay. And then there's a 1 million. Think of it like an umbrella policy that sits over your deductible.
I still don't get it. If the liability, if there may be different terminology instead of liability limit, that I would say, Mr. Leonard
Bill?
wants to explain.
Mr. Leonard.
Dr. Iqbal, the way this works is you have to satisfy your deductible before the policy will pay any benefit on it. So if you have a $500,000 deductible, you have to pay the first $500,000 out of our pocket. Then anything over that up to an additional $1 million would be covered by the policy. On the second policy, we would have to pay the first $1 million as a deductible, and then anything over $1 million would be paid up to an additional $1 million. So if the claim were over $2 million, we would have a $1 million deductible we'd have to pay. The insurance company would pay $1 million, and then we'd have to pay anything above that.
Okay. So the limit is really 2 million and we are paying deductible of 1 million and 1 million would be paid.
The limit is really 1 million on a claim, but any claim that comes in would apply towards the deductible first. So if you
Of
have a $1
course,
million
yeah.
claim, we pay the deductible. There's no coverage under the insurance. Anything over $1 million on a claim that is awarded, we pay the deductible 1 million, the insurance company would pay the next million, and then anything over that, we would be responsible for also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for
Yes.
that.
Oh, no, Ms. Bates was next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So doing my arithmetic, it looks like if we follow Mr. Sturgis's recommendation with the $100 million deductible and the $38,000 premium, we're changing our deductible by $500,000. If we divide that by the $61,000 per year that we would be saving, that is an 8. That means 8. So if we think there's less than a 1 in 8 chance that we will be hacked, we should go with the lesser amount. So I think there is probably less than a 1 in 8 chance that we will be hacked by ransomware. So I think I would go with Cliff's recommendation. Thank you.
We'll take that to the casino. I don't know what to say to that. So.
I hope we don't get hacked. Yes.
The question is, I guess is, it's per claim, right? So
Yes.
each claim, you don't get to aggregate the claims. It's not a cumulative, it's a one-off for each claim. I'm not sure I understood the numbers that Ms. Bates was
That's fine.
throwing out, but
Uh,
in order to get this started, I will make a motion to approve what he said.
That's pretty
So
technical.
1 million, which is the 1 million limit
1 million.
with the 1 million or the $500,000 deductible.
With a million. is-
That's the more expensive option.
No,
The 1 million, I'm recommending the 1 million deductible for the $38,000,
as presented in the resolution.
which again is double the premium of last year with
Okay.
almost quadruple the deductible. And I'm feeling as straightforward as we possibly can, and we have exhausted almost every option. And are there options? Sure, but it will cost Roger, $1.5 million to come into compliance. And at that point, truly what's,
And we can continue to look for something else. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second. Okay.
Bates.
Okay. Chaperone Kenyon.
Madam to be chair, what is the motion? Is a $1 million deductible or?
It's the $1
Yes.
million
Okay.
deductible as proposed in the original resolution with no changes. Please call, is everybody understanding what you're voting on?
Call for
Yes.
question.
Please call the vote.
Ellen,
Ellen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis, are you here? Ford,
Board, yes.
Fries,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius.
Okay, just to be clear, we're voting on 21,510.
That's correct.
That, everything that's listed there, and it also includes the 38,374 for the $1 million per occurrence deductible,
That's correct.
unchanged.
Unchanged.
unchanged. Caius, yes.
Copy,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
And yes.
Surgis,
Surges, yes, with a hearty thank you to Mr. Ryan. Yes.
Winnicki.
Yes.
That passes.
It does pass. Thank you for that. And as a word of wisdom, if it's a questionable email, please don't open it. Do not open it. And if you have any further questions, call IT and they'll guide you through it. Because we don't want any malware coming into our system. Yeah, so just think we can be smart with that as you are with your own home devices. Okay, very
Smarter.
good.
Madam Chair, if we can, Rich, is there anything else that you need
No, I
to
can,
move this forward?
I just need to go bind the coverage. So
Okay,
we'll
and
get
we're
it-
doing that.
It has to be today
Today,
because it
right.
expires Sunday at 12:01.
Okay,
Oh, my goodness.
super.
12:01.
Oh, AM, excuse me.
We're down to the wire, so.
Please get to work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right. So from cybersecurity now to maps. We are going to be voting on, if you'd like to pull it up, item number 21-511. But before we do so, I'd like to have Mr. Fonstock come up with heightened cybersecurity and present, he's got a brief PowerPoint just to review where we've been and where we are now. So we're sitting all on the same page, which will include the Alvarez change, the public comment change.
Okay, Blair, could you get that? Thank you.
Okay. So you've seen the presentation that we did for the public hearing, which was based on a map for the redistricting of 24 single-member districts. The November 8th map was presented to the county board on November 9th, and then we held 2 subsequent public hearings for input. So what we have today basically are 2 base maps, and I'll explain that in a second. And then we have 2 modified base maps with public comment. So the first base map that you'll see is the map in front of you on the screen now. And you'll notice the number 1 in the corner. That's just for referencing, keep them straight. I realize that it's hard to see all the detail. These have been online and available since the public hearing. But map 1, it is the one to the left, as Madam Chair pointed out.
Roger, I'm so sorry.
Yes,
If we're online and going to the county's main page
yes,
and that map says draft on it, are we
Yes.
looking at the same thing?
yes.
Thank you.
So, yes, so map from November 8th, I've kind of labeled it 1108. So you'll see 1108, or you'll see a number 1 in the lower left corner of the map.
Oops.
This map was presented, I think we're getting
Sorry.
some echo, Blair.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I thought I turned off here.
You need to turn off your microphone.
You,
On the laptop.
Mute the volume. Top, very top
Yeah, mute that.
to the right.
yeah.
You have to watch him for cybersecurity.
If that helps. All right.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, so that should be better. So again, we have the 1108 map in front of you. Then there was a subsequent meeting that was held, and there were a number of people there, including Mr. Shepro. We had Mr. Mark Gately, and we had Madam Chair. We were trying to discuss some things that were desirable in the Elgin area from Mr. Shepro, and there was a subsequent map that was developed on November 15th that we'll show you in a second. And that map basically had some changes amongst a couple of districts, which a lot of it involved, I believe it was Elgin 42 and Elgin 23, those 2 precinct areas. And then there was also some changes around the Fox River. But it was relatively minor as far as the VRA districts. It didn't really impact the voting rights districts or Hispanic voting rights. So that was suggested, and we do have that map version as well. So this is the November 8th map that was presented at the November 9th meeting by Madam Chair. There was public comment. This public comment change was one of the ones that was recommended by Madam Chair. We've incorporated documentation to support that. It only involves moving 3 blocks. You'll see up there 2000, 2001, 2003. Those are 3 blocks. They represent 12 people, and they're basically an unincorporated or rural area outside of Algonquin that's a part of their planning for future planning. Again, you're going to see that map. That map in front of you now is the November 8th map with public comment updates as of November 19th. So the only part that you'll see that's different is this little green area up here. Sorry, hold the pointer as straight as I can. But there's a small little green area that we added 3 blocks, 12 people. And that was a move from District 21 to 23. As you move forward, this is the summary of the data. And to the right, you'll see the Hispanic voting age population. This was something where we tried to stay 58.5 or 59% or above for Hispanic voting age population. And the Hispanic population was around 63% and up. That's what our target was. And I think we did that successfully for all of the maps. Then we move on. There was a November 12th map that was basically taken aside for a November 15th map. This November 15th map is the map that I was discussing that occurred with Mr. Shepro. This had the changes to Elgin 42, Elgin 23, and some changes around the Fox River area. Again, I don't believe this impacted the VRA districts. It didn't diminish any of the Hispanic voting rights districts that we'd already created. It maintained the population deviation as well. There was the public comments again for Rutland 1. It was blocks 2000, 2001, 2003. They were moved from District 21 to 23. Same change as the other map. And this is that map rendered again with that small portion up by Algonquin being added to District 23. So those are the four maps. You'll still notice the number in the lower left-hand corner. So map 1 was the original November 8th map. Map 2 was the November 8th map with an update for public comment. Map 3 was the November 15th map that Ken Shepro and company drafted. Then map 4 is the November 15th map with public comment. So those are the four that we have today. And again, the map presented at county board for the public comment session was the number 1, the first map that you saw. This is the population breakdown, again, for the November 15th map. Again, the Hispanic voting age population is consistent with what we were trying to accomplish. The Hispanic population was also consistent. The deviation is still consistent with what our goals were. So I think at this time, the question is, whether you have map 1, 2, 3, or 4. And those, again, map 1 is the original November 8th map, and map 2 is the map with public comment. And then you have the November 15th map, which is the Ken Shepro map, for the lack of a better terminology, and then the Shepro map with public comment. And I think that concludes the maps that we have for presentation. So I'd be happy to take any questions. We also have some table copies. If you would like to see the census block data that's available in each of the 1108 or the 1115 map, these are actually district by district, all of the blocks that are in your district. And we can get it to you electronically if you want to see that as well. And then I have some copies that just represent the block data for the suggested moves that were made in public comment. And again, it's only 12 people in 3 blocks that moved from public comment.
Madam Chair Gums.
Yes, Ms. Gums.
I apologize. Is now an appropriate time to move one of the 4 maps for vote?
No, not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Okay.
Are there any questions for Roger?
Madam Chair, Allen?
Yeah, Ms. Allen, hold on, please.
I'll defer
Yes.
to Mrs. Allen.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Shepro. There was a map sent out just before the weekend, I believe, with an Exhibit A. Am I correct that Exhibit A was map 1 without the public comment?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Ms. Molina?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Yeah, my question is regarding District 17. I thought Ms. Allen might have a question regarding District 17, but it's one of the VRA districts. In the first map, the Hispanic population was about 60.9%. But in the last map, the Hispanic population dropped. As a VRA district, can you tell me where the difference was from the first map to the public comment map? I know that 17 kind of moves further west, but what were the changes and why was that?
17. I'd have to get it. I'd have to get the interactive version of the map up and look at it, but I'm trying to think exactly where we're at here as far as 17.
This is Allen.
When?
I can help with that, but I think
I
it's
believe-
wise to
I
defer to
thought the
Mr.
number
Font.
went up.
I believe they're nominally the same. The percentages, I think the difference was less than 1% in the, or it was still within range for Hispanic population and within range for Hispanic voting age population. We didn't change it beyond that. So the 60% would have been the Hispanic voting age population, I believe. Is that correct, Ms. Molina?
Well, I'm looking at the exhibit 1108, and it only has Hispanic voting age population. It doesn't have total Hispanic population. So maybe that's where my
Yes.
numbers are off.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Hispanic voting age population would be less. It'd be about 4% less usually than the Hispanic population. So that district, I would say, we have the data, we could pull it up, but it's probably 64% Hispanic population and 60.7. Well, that's District 1, but you're talking about District 17, 60.91% Hispanic voting age population, and the Hispanic population would have been 64. I could actually pull up the stats. We have it. It'd just take me a minute.
Actually, it's.
Phil,
Does
do
it-
you have
do-
those numbers, Mr. Lukenham? Yes,
Yeah, let me bring it up.
They're on that chart.
thank you.
The
Hispanic population on my version went up.
chair, what I'll call the chair's map was amended. That had that district at 65.85 total pop and 60.91 voting age population. After the proposed amendment, it went to 63.36 and 58.71. So it was about a point and a half.
What about the 1115 map?
The 1115 is what I say is the second.
Oh, it went, okay, it went,
Went
it
down
did
about
go
a
up.
point and a half, 2 points. The
It
second.
did go up under that one.
You're,
Why don't you say the numbers again?
yeah, 17 in what was the original November 9th map, let's call it, okay? Was at 65.85% total pop. In the November 19th map, or the November 15th map, excuse me, that went down to 63.36. So it lowered about 2.5% total population between that map and the second map, we'll call it. And then the November 9th map was at 60.91 VAP and went down to 58.71 VAP between the two maps. So about another 2-point drop on both categories. Now they're both over the 58%. They're both in the range of what we were hoping to obtain for the Voting Rights Act districts, but one is clearly has a couple more percent.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Are there any other questions for Roger? Any online? No? Okay, thank you, Roger.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Shepherd.
Yeah, I guess I know it's difficult to figure out what to refer to these at, but the reference to this is the chaperone map, I think is misleading. I was not even in the room when the final version of the chaperone map was discussed. And because apparently there were too many of us there, I want to make clear that I believe that that 1115 map was the result of extensive discussions involving a multiplicity of people, input, a review of all the numbers, and, was not something that is my map.
And absolutely. And we nicknamed the public comment the Alvarez changes.
Yeah.
So it was just a name. But just so we could recognize it. But going forward, let's make sure that we call it by the date.
Is
So it's-
1108 and 1115.
And 1112.
Yeah.
Okay. Or map 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Madam Chair, Surges, I just wanted to make a comment. I'm not a real big social media guy, but I did notice that there were a couple of social media posts out there that were pretty aggressive, making some allegations about the maps as recently as last night. And I just wanted to comment that at least at the north end, north of I-90, we truly had a challenge there in as much as Pingree Grove exploded. since the last census. We have more population there, and it caused an issue and a problem which necessitated moving some stuff. And I just want to state that while I didn't serve on the committee in any way, shape, or form, Mr. Copey in District 9, Surgis in 21, Cayos in 23, and Sanchez in 24, I think we worked together marvelously, trying to find something that worked. We took information from Mr. Avalar, and we appreciate Mark coming in and stating that Mark's goal was pretty clear. He wanted as many municipalities represented by a single commissioner, if I'm not mistaken, as possible. We tried to honor that in several meetings where we got together. There were several phone calls, not between anybody on the committee, but between Jared, myself, Chris, and Tom, trying to say, are you okay with what we're presenting? You know, I don't know the numbers, but I mean, if we're trying to get Gilbert's together, or Pingree together, or Algonquin together, or, you know, and East Dundee together, are we working toward that common goal? And I believe we honored the system. I believe that we respected the way it was going on. And to those individuals that were posting that something was gerrymandered, or I can't believe how this was, you took my subdivision to give to that person, or vice versa. At least from my perspective, I don't believe that that occurred in any way, shape, or form. And are they perfect? Are they exactly what we wanted? No, they're not. But sometimes you have to give up a little comfort level to make it work for the greater good. And I just want to go on the record to make that statement, just put to bed any, and if Jared or Tom or Chris have any, you know, hesitation on that comment, you know, I welcome them to voice it, but I want those rumors put to bed immediately. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Ford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one question, and I saw them before, but I haven't seen them recently. The percentage of the African-American community within the different districts.
Do we have that number available?
Lots of numbers available. So I guess the question is
Pull 'em
which
up.
map, which version of the map?
Do you want general population throughout the county and then specific
Well,
districts?
there's not too much changes in the maps as far as population. I mean, you just got small changes, right?
They're very, especially in your district, there were, you know.
So
So the African-American population in the county is roughly 40,000. And then in your district of 21,522 people, it's about, I think, 14%. That's the largest district, African-American district, that is contiguous and compact and available. That was what we were able to do.
Does that answer your question, sir?
It does.
Okay, very good. All right. Any other questions? And if hearing none, seeing none.
Madam Chairman, this is Alan.
Yes, Ms. Allen. Yes, Ms. Allen.
Thank you. I compliment Mr. Sturgis on his explanation of how the district members work together. And frankly, that's what I participated in and saw also. There were three of the Elgin districts shared a border, and we talked on the phone and we met with GIS. We asked for Attorney Luekehans to look over what we had done to approve the percentages, because we were very sensitive to that. And Ms. Molina, you're correct. The November 8th map is the one that is designed to be more fair to our Hispanic population, as it always has been in Elgin. I just want to say our districts on the November 8th map did not change very much. And the oldest part of the Hispanic community is the oldest part of Elgin, and that basically did not change at all. And that also helps speak to the percentages. My problem with the November 15th map was that we did not have that collaboration. It's pretty easy to pick up the phone and say, I want to ask if we could talk about our borders. Are there some changes that we could make? And the November 15th map, I believe, touches 5 districts with changes. And I don't believe that I was part of that conversation. I don't believe, and I'm 17. I don't believe that District 15 was part of that conversation. I believe that District 22 was on the periphery. I don't know about District 14 at all. So I missed that collaboration. I think there was an opportunity to do it and that it didn't occur. So I'm going to be supporting the November 8th map as one that I feel had more input from everyone into it. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? Yes,
I'm just, this process that we're,
Mr. Martin is speaking.
yeah, Mr. Martin, I'm sorry. This process now, what I would envision happening is that somebody would move that we adopt a map and then we vote on it. We're not all going to vote on separate maps, I hope.
The map that is proposed as according to what I'm supposed to do is it is the November 8th map that was presented to the board on November 9th. So can we bring the original map up that I did present to the board? And with that, I'd like to move now, if I may. There's no other questions. May I have a motion and a second?
Madam Chair, sorry, before we move on.
Yes.
I just had a
yes,
point of information.
correct.
We hadn't discussed this, but after the map is approved, we move from, we're going to move to, there'll be the election, but typically before this even happened, we would decide whether or not the evens or the odds would start with 2, 4, 4 for the next 10 years. And we haven't done that yet. So I was just wondering what the process was for deciding how the election process will happen after this.
That'll be done immediately at our next board meeting after we approve the map, because you don't even know what district you're in yet. I mean, you know which district, but the district.
And is there a process of how that will happen? 10 years ago, I think someone flipped a coin.
I
So-
haven't decided what fun I'm going to have yet,
Okay.
but it'll be done by chance.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can I ask a question about that as well? My understanding is that we could have, I know in the past, we've had 244 or 442, but there is the availability of having 424. So you'd split the board into 3 elections. Is that correct?
That is an option, and we can discuss that. Was my intention to replicate what has previously existed, odds and evens, and not change it into 3s.
And can I ask,
You've been, and my rationale why is you have been very traditional with all of your choices so far. So I wanted to honor that tradition.
so it's,
Madam Chair Bates,
your point is
please.
just traditional?
No.
Just to clarify,
Yes.
your point is traditional. It doesn't have anything to do with whether it's the turnover of the board or
Not at all.
anything like that.
Bates, please.
Just a second, please. Yes, sir.
It's Berman. We're saying November 8th, right? If we defeat this, what do we do? Go to the next one?
It can be amended.
Oh, it can be amended.
It can be amended.
All right.
And my recommendation, because we have to, and I think I hate to have public comment come in without it being honored, that we do recommend having the public comment change that will include the
Algonquin.
Algonquin. I was looking to see if it was up on any of these maps.
So this is the MVA change number 1 for 3 blocks in Algonquin, and it's map number 2. So at the bottom, it'll say with public comment update.
That map is not,
It's up, yeah, it's up on the screen.
it's up on the screen, but not behind me.
I propose an amendment to the
We're
motion.
not yet. We haven't gotten to the resolution yet. We have many questions. All right. Yes.
Fraz speaking. I guess I'm looking at this maps 1 through 4, and that represented an evolution of the map as it went through public comment and board member comment. So I guess I'm just kind of confused as why we're not voting on number 4, as it represents all the input.
It can be, but by Ms. Neerman or Phil, could you please explain why I'm presenting the original map that was presented to the board on November 9th?
Just pursuant to the statute, the Madam Chair had presented to the board a version of the map. There was public input after that. Legally, we would recommend that we place the chair's map on the agenda, and that if there are any amendments, that someone, move to amend the ordinance once it has been moved onto the floor.
Okay, so we have to vote for all 4 of them?
No. So once we get to the voting portion, someone would make a motion to move ordinance 21 I think it's 511. And someone would second, you would have discussion. Someone at that point could move to amend.
Okay, so I guess with that, my comment is that I'll be supporting number 4, as it seems to include the most comment and input from all parties.
Okay, but it has to be, thank you. Someone has to move to that amendment. Mr. Caius.
A question, we keep going back from date, 3 maps that we're looking at here. You're saying there's 4 maps and there's number 2 and number 4.
Correct, in here.
The clarification, can we just get one thing where we're talking about maps that are either dated or numbered, or we could put a name on them too, but.
So this is Roger Fonstock again. If you look at the screen, there's a number 1. This is the original November 8th map. Then there's November 8th map with public comment, which is 2. That's the 12th. This is the November 15th map, number 3. And then there's public comment, November 15th map with public comment changes. So there's November 8th, there's November 8th with public comment. There's November 15th with public comment. The public comment is the same change.
So they're 4 up here, but they're dated down here. Is that right?
There's, on the left is map for November 8th, and on the right is map for November 15th.
Have you got a crayon, Ken? Can you put a big 4 on it, or a 2 or something? I'm just trying to get it where I don't have to switch. It's like going from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Who does that stuff?
Okay, all right. So we're all focused. This is map number 6.
Yes.
Do not have
A map number.
map number 2.
That's number X. That one was not for consideration.
I rest my case.
That was the map that was done in between 8 and 15. Sorry about that. I can recognize it from here.
Just a question of how long your term is.
So on the left is map 1, on the right is map 3. You would look for 1 or 3 with public comment, which is only 12 people and 3 blocks around.
It's to the right.
Algonquin.
To the right, Madam
It's just a little to the right. Yeah, it
Oh,
actually follows the
new
road
map.
there.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just that little section.
There you go.
Are we seeing the same thing on Zoom? Because I only see number 4.
We're talking about exhibits at the front, but they are still numbered the same. I thought the numbers
Okay.
would help, but so number
No,
1.
Roger, I like the number idea. I'm following along with
The
the numbers
numbers are
quite
helping.
nicely.
Number 1 is the 1108 map.
No.
Yep.
Number 2 is 1108 with public comment.
The agenda doesn't have these. maps.
Number 3 is 1115. And number 4 is 1115 with the public comment. So
Okay.
I think you have a motion to approve of the base map, and then you would make a motion to amend to adopt one of the versions.
And now I'm seeing one.
To adopt each of the amendments, or to adopt a version?
A version.
A version.
A version.
So,
And we have Michelle and Phil here to guide us through this.
and again, the resolution is 21-511.
All right, yes.
Are we ready for a motion, Madam Chair?
I would love to have a motion.
Okay, I will make the motion to move map number 1.
No, not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
Not quite
Okay.
yet. All right.
Okay.
May I have, we have to go to the ordinance and then we can amend the ordinance. All
okay.
right.
Madam
So,
Chair,
yes,
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 21-511.
very good. May I have a second, please?
I will
Just
second.
seconds.
It's a toss up.
Let's mark down everybody.
Everybody seconds it. Okay, is there any discussion on ordinance number 21-511? Mr.
Would you
Shepherd,
read the ordinance, please?
adopting the Kane County apportionment map.
It's on here.
Number 1.
So this isn't saying which map we are
number one.
adopting?
It does say it's called map A.
Exhibit A.
It would be number 1108 is in the resolution because that was presented at the last county board and that was presented at the public hearings.
Okay, thank you.
That is without public comment change. It is the original map that was presented on 11/9 to the county board. Okay, everyone is clear. Those who are here.
So
Okay.
Madam Chairman, this is Alan. I have a question.
Hold on a second, please. Mr. Shepro had his hand up.
And that's fine.
I would like to move to amend the proposed ordinance by replacing Exhibit A with a new Exhibit A, which is the 1115 version, and with the further addition of the moving of blocks 2000, 2001, and 2003 in Rutland Precinct 1 from District 21 to District 23. which
Roz
is-
seconds.
Mr. Shepro, is that number 4?
Yes.
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 That is correct. That's map
Thank you.
number 4. Version number 4.
I second.
Okay, we already have the second.
I would like to speak to the motion to amend.
Yes, sir.
As has been noted, this has been a lengthy process. It began in the distant time of, I think, May. And as you know, it went into overtime. There was a lot of collaboration. There were many individual meetings that were held involving many board members who had issues with their particular districts. As I think was noted by Mr. Fraz and others, the 1115 map is I believe, the final culmination of input from everybody. And I believe it reflects the fairest division of the county into districts. Now, having said that, I understand that there are some people who felt that they were not sufficiently consulted at the end of the process. Perhaps that's my fault. Perhaps it was just a fault of the schedule. The focus of the changes to 1115 were primarily based upon Mr. Kenyon's district. We had, and Mr. Kenyon had requested many times over the past several months, consideration for what we felt, many people felt was an unfortunate byproduct of some of the earlier maps that had been drawn that essentially eviscerated his district. As you know, Aurora, it took many weeks to resolve the Aurora situation. It took weeks to resolve the Voting Rights Act. While that was going on, it was difficult to talk about other districts because so much depended on the Voting Rights District. Some of you may recall the early map in which District 15 and District 18 were remarkably different than what perhaps reflected the history of those districts or indeed the proclivities of the residents. Those were all changed as a result of meetings that were held. The meetings that were held after the 9th included a number of people, in fact, so many that if I'm supposed to be the author of the map, I ended up being not able to stay in the room because we had Mr. Tepe and Mr. Kenyon there as well. There was a further meeting that involved Mr. Gately. We reviewed every aspects of all of the maps and came to what we thought was an acceptable agreement. Not everybody was happy. I want to say with respect to some board members, I understood that some people had been talked to. Apparently they were not. If I were to put a finger on why this whole problem arose in the first place, was a problem that arose with the drawing of District 14 in such a way as to make it very difficult to have it be contiguous, a contiguous district. Was really too late to redraw District 14. I would say with respect to Ms. Wanicki, it was my understanding, and if it was not correct, then I am at fault, that it had been reviewed with you that a small portion of the northeast corner of Campton Township would able to be used as a corridor to allow 14 to maintain contiguity. I know we traded phone calls. At the end of the day, we were out of time. That's on me. I would hope that that would not prevent you from supporting, and overlooking my procedural problems if those were the case. And what I still think is the best map that we came up with. With respect to the Voting Rights Act, those of us who put this together, and it wasn't just me, believe me, we looked very carefully at the voting rights aspect. My understanding, and I'm certainly willing to be corrected, is that the changes that were made to District 17 brought it more in line with the same percentages that were the Hispanic population, the Voting Rights Act, or population, voting age population for the other districts, so that they are all well within the tolerance and in fact closer together than they were before these changes. I think it's very important that everybody felt that their views were heard. The map, the original map that was proposed simply because of the passage of time, did not reflect the views of everybody. It excluded the views of Mr. Kenyon. And I believe that this change incorporates to the best we can everybody's desires. Nobody got everything they wanted. We've heard about the Aurora situation. We've heard, up north, there were changes, obviously, even at the public hearing. I would urge my colleagues to support the 1115 map with the Public Hearing Act change.
Any other comments?
Madam Chairman.
Hold on, Ms. Woodnick and then Ms. Allen, you're next.
Let Deborah speak.
Ms. Allen, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and Ms. Wanicki. The calls and the texts that I sent in the 2 weeks before Thanksgiving were to say that I talked with Ms. Wanicki and we had a suggestion that could solve all the problems. And the suggestion was that the District 15 have the part of Campton 5 that Ms. Wanicki had represented in the past, and that would still leave a corridor for Mr. Davis to be able to, or excuse me, County Board 14 to be able to move from basically a northeast no, that's not correct, a southeast section to a northwest section. It would still leave that corridor. And the people who would be moved around, I think it would be more than 12 people, but those people could be picked up in the northwestern section, which was, I believe, a Plato town, Plato precinct. So it was really easy to solve this problem and have people in people's opinions considered. My district changed with 2 precincts. One of them came from Mr. Kenyon's territory, one that I'd never represented before. Another one came as part of Mr. Tepe's district. Again, something that I hadn't represented before. And there was a precinct that would be removed from my territory. Ms. Strathman and I had spent hours with each other and with Mr. Nikoski and Nick, who is a master of GIS, by the way. We have the best GIS people in the world. But we spent hours to try and make sure that we had our districts lined up and our VRA numbers as perfect as we could make them. And then we passed that to Madam Chairman. We asked for Attorney Lukahans to approve those numbers, and they came back as being acceptable. So if a few calls would have been traded in those 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I think we would not be having such an extensive discussion today. I just think that the courtesy that we showed each other extended right up until the last minute, and then it kind of fell off the table. Thank you for your consideration for listening to a rant. Sorry. Carry on. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you.
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
I would just ask, because it's suggestion that some phone calls would have solved the problem. I would be happy to show Mrs. Allen my cell phone and my home phone that would show that I made probably at least 6 or 7 calls to you, Deborah, that went into voicemail and went unreturned during that period of time. And I sent you a text as well, and I know you have personal situations that I made allowances for, but I think it's unfair to say that I did not attempt to reach out to you.
I wish we had been more successful in meeting with each other.
I agree. That's ultimately it's on me. I would hope that you would not punish Mr. Kenyon or others for my inability to make phone contact.
So if there's no other comment, we do have Ms. Wernicke, did you yield to Ms. Allen?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other comment, we have a motion on the floor to amend map A, original map, to map 4 with public comment. So that's, clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, this is just the vote on the amendment. Ellen? Ellen?
Allen, no.
Bates?
Please come back to me.
Berman?
Berman, no.
Brown? Ford?
Ford, yes.
Braz?
Braz, yes.
Gums?
Gums, yes.
Iqbal?
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
Caius?
Guys, yes.
Gopi? Gopi? Leonard?
Leonard, yes.
Lewis?
Lewis, yes.
Martin?
Martin, yes.
Molina?
Molina, no.
Sanchez?
Sanchez, yes.
Jepro?
Shepro, yes.
Silva?
Silva, no.
Strathman?
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis? Tepe?
Tepe, yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Winnicky?
No.
And I'm coming back to you, Miss Bates.
No.
No.
And what about?
Davis, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. And Mr. Davis, welcome.
Mr. Copey, what is your vote?
Is this the Shepro amendment?
Correct.
That's a yes.
Okay, passes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Passes with 6 nays.
Okay, 6 nays. All right, now to motion to amend to, could we put the final map, is it up there? With public comment. So as you can, with the map here.
Housekeeping.
Turn that. That's what I had. Oh, this is
Feel fortunate.
Need a Vanna White.
Oh, let's make a deal.
So we are now voting on map 4
Nice move, Vanna.
with my hand-drawn change on it. Is there any further discussion on ordinance number 21-511? Yes.
Hopefully this is a bookend comment, but a successful negotiation is defined when all parties walk away not overly happy or overly sad. So I think that's where we're at.
I've heard that comment, I think, from all 24 of you. It's a good sign.
So, Shepro, I echo Mr. Frost's comments, and I thank everyone for a difficult, lengthy, but ultimately, I believe, successful process.
Absolutely. It has been a work of love, a work of diligence, of work of collaboration, of work of really nonpartisan effort coming through all of this. And I'd like to thank each one of you for defining a map that'll be for the county for the next 10 years. And again, I'd like to thank the public for their review, for all comments, whether supportive or not. Your comments are certainly valued and welcomed here at the county and always will be continued to do so and listen to the best of our ability. So with that, Mr. Iqbal.
Madam Chair, this is Mo Iqbal. I have a general question to clarify for the public. We have these voting right district which apparently protect the minority vote, or the intent is not to dilute their vote. And I'm a person of color. But the question has been asked that in this process, these districts were given preferential treatment, not to dilute them, but to give them preferential treatment. Why was that done?
It's a law.
It's the law. And Phil, could you please explain?
Yeah, I don't know that they were given preferential treatment. I think that they were obviously a factor of many in drawing the map, and one of those factors is compliance with the Voting Rights Act. So there were many other factors, such as trying to keep population deviation down, trying to keep municipalities whole, trying to keep cores of current districts. All of those were taken into account. I don't think any one of those was taken into account more than others.
Thank you.
And that Voting Rights Act was established in, correct me if I'm wrong, in 1965, is that correct? And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
and then amended most recently 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
I don't know, the Federal Voting Rights Act was amended. Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act was stricken about that time period. And then there was a state Voting Rights Act that doesn't quite apply, but there have been amendments since then, I think 69. I'll be honest, I just kind of live with whatever today's is and don't focus on what years it got there.
Absolutely.
There have been court cases which have interpreted, explained, and probably expanded what
Very
the
true.
original 1965 legislation was.
And as in Kane County, the 2010 map had 6 voting rights districts. We now have 8 because of the growth of the Hispanic, primarily the Hispanic population, although other minorities have continued to have a growth. African-American population has remained pretty stable. But the Asian population has certainly grown. So with that, if there's no further discussion. Clerk, could you please call the roll? And this is to confirm, this is map 4.
All right, and I have as the original motion, people who motioned in second for 21-511, where I had Wallace making that motion, Sanchez seconding that motion. Do they want to incorporate the new amendment?
Mr. Wallace?
It's
It's already,
amended.
it's already amended.
Okay,
It's
I'm
already amended.
Amendment
Just-
was
just
adopted.
all right,
clarifying.
never, okay, then scratch, yeah. Don't pay attention to me. All right. I'll need a roll call then. Alan with the amendment.
Alan, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Ford,
Board, yes.
Raz, Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis, yes. Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Wallace,
Wallace, aye.
and Woniki.
Yes.
That passes.
Motion passes. Oh, well done. All right. Yes.
Offer, I think, our collective thanks to Roger and the
Absolutely.
GIS staff, as well as our legal counsel, Mr. Lukahans and Michelle Neerman and her colleagues.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, I'm going to take a quick pause, get a drink of water, and we'll continue on. I think we could use just a,
Could we have a 5-minute recess?
I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, that's.
Go to the top of the deck.
But not often.
5-minute recess is.
Okay.
Sorry. I hope we're all unhappy. The Shepro amendment.
Yes. What is the old thing we voted, 13 to 11, the wish you happy birthday. You don't. For speedy recovery.
I mean, I go all these months.
Two suitcases worth.
I'm doing well, Mo. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. We're on different time zones. No, I'm doing okay. How are you? How's your family?
I mean, calls me this morning. I'm just like, no, don't even bring it up. Yeah. I know. And we
I mean, there's, you know,
Oh, good. Yeah, it was hard the first.
Or a bicycle to
I
go
got
up
my
and down.
daughter.
well, we're betting
That's good.
$8 against one.
Well,
I'm not sure where she was going with that.
I know. But I remember St. Charles. when I was working.
61,000 that we won.
I haven't been. I'm waiting. Yeah.
And you know, with
How far
insurance.
down in the head did you go?
Hope it ends up
Going up
working.
everywhere.
But this is-
Okay.
Event, you didn't cross it to Tivana.
So I feel good about it, actually.
East on the border town.
I'd rather spend that money on programming to make sure
People that were
we don't get
Yeah, it's a beautiful area here. I
Problem.
haven't been, but hopefully soon. I have a dog now, so it's like, before it was like, you can't travel because you have kids. Now I can't travel because I have a dog, so.
my district tremendously.
I have Geneva 21.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a.
It's like leaving your kids. It's like, I can't do it until he gets a little older. So maybe next year I'll be traveling more and we'll see. But yeah, it's
And
been
about all the northern
very busy, so.
communities, they want to make sure that one guy has one community. And that,
I thought the county ended at Elgin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's this coming
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, really. We get along up there. At least the board. I'm not sure about the rest of that. Oh.
It really made me mad because I was,
Yeah.
and then it's not like you or Jay came and said, actually, that's not true, guys.
I haven't seen it. It's on
You're
Facebook.
looking for anything over 20?
Yeah, I don't check Facebook that often.
When I got elected
You can put it back
14
together.
years ago, I responded to a blog
Sorry, but I'm not getting any volume.
Neither am I, Tom. I think they're still muted.
Okay, thank you.
Went on. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, could everyone take their seat?
We haven't reached the potential of what we need.
I'm pretty sure it was a document from you.
We're a long way off from being,
Exactly.
in my mind. As far as, that was.
I hope.
That we could have.
I mean,
What they do in the Senate. No,
desirable, you guys.
I'm just,
And it's big time. And it's
All right, I'd like everybody to take off your jackets, roll up your sleeves, and here we go. Metaphorically, of course.
We're in the easy part now.
Moving to having a conversation about today's 22 budget.
Madam Chair, I believe we should have a roll call to reestablish.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Could you please call the roll? We're back from our 5-minute break.
Okay, for roll call, Ellen,
Ellen, present.
Bates,
Bates, present.
Berman,
Berman here.
Brown,
Brown here.
Davis,
Davis here.
okay, Ford,
Board present.
Fraz,
Here.
Gums,
Gums here.
Iqbal,
Iqbal present.
In here.
Caius,
Vice President.
Copy,
Sophie's present.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Lewis,
Lewis here.
Martin,
Martin present.
Molina,
Tina present.
Sanchez,
Virtually here.
Shepro,
Shepro here.
Silva,
Silva is here.
Strathman,
Strathman here.
Burgess. Tepe,
Be here.
Wallace.
Here.
Winnicky.
Present.
Okay, you have a quorum.
Forum. Before we begin a conversation, I'd just like to just say literally just a very few words. The decisions that we're going to be making today about the 22 budget are going to be impactful. They're going to be impactful because they're going to be affecting the 23 budget and budgets moving forward. So I want you to remember that this decision on this budget does not stand alone. It's going to be really determining how we're going to move the county forward financially into the future. Today is also, for those of you who support not-for-profits, and I know many of you do, is the Giving Tuesday. And that was started in New York, I believe, in 1992 by the 92nd YMCA. And it's a day that we recognize our not-for-profits, and if we're able to, it's a day of philanthropy to donate to them. Many of you I know donate annually. Some of you donate to your not-for-profit or serve on not-for-profit boards. And you know the importance of the community work. We're also going to be balancing this budget on an appropriate use of the American Rescue Plan money. Now, whether or not you feel that that is a good use of that money is your personal decision, but that money this is a valid use of those resources. But we have to remind ourselves that as we balance this year's budget on that there is still a hole that will have to be filled. And that is the hole that we have to address going forward in the future. Because when that money is spent, that money will be gone and the hole will still exist. So those are my concerns as you make your decisions. But I hope you'll support this year's budget as proposed. It has been worked hard. And as I mentioned earlier, there has been a lot of discussion that went into the passing of the map, which was critically important. So my recommendation, and of course, 24 of you make the decision, but my recommendation is to pass the budget as passed, knowing that for 23, we are discussing our next steps and making sure that we have a balanced budget going forward to the future. So with that, we have a number of resolutions, and I'd like to turn this over to Mr. Berman, who is our finance chair, and he will do a great job of addressing all of these amendments that we're going to be passing. So, Mr. Berman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think our, although it's not alphabetical today, we'll look at number 21-452. Mr. Unkin, would you like to make any presentation about our annual appropriation?
I don't, oh, this is Joe Onzik, Director of Finance. No, I don't have a presentation, but I'm happy to answer questions. I could just say that what's before you to be considered is it's the ordinance that will approve the annual budget that was placed on public display with those few amendments that are included on what's before you. And those amendments were to adjust the budget for personnel expense in the state's attorney's and public defender's office, as well as in the county board office. Those were already approved to be added to this. But in addition, then there are those 7 amendments that were sent out to you and that were placed on the county website to be considered to be added to this ordinance if you approve them.
All right, thank you, Joe. I think the first item of business then is to adopt our annual appropriation, or at least have a motion and a second.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Yes.
The
Mr. Shepro speaking.
Yes, Shepro, the proposed amendments would, what do I want to say? May they be considered as a single amendment?
No.
I think that's a different question than whether we can consider all the levies the same.
Levies?
Yeah, no, my question is, instead of having to vote individually on each of the 7 amendments to the appropriation ordinance, can we simply move all of those amendments?
No, we're talking about 2 different things there.
I don't. That's why I'm saying I want to talk about the amendments that Mr. Onzik discussed, which, as I understand it, are amendments to 21-452.
Right.
Yes, they are, but each one accomplishes a slightly different purpose or significantly different purpose. So I don't know that you want to.
I don't think
consider
you-
them together.
Okay, just a
I
question.
do not think we want to take them
Okay,
all
we'll do
together. We'll
one
look
at a
at them
time.
individually.
Okay.
I agree. One at
That
a
would be
time.
my recommendation.
So,
So
just,
we need a motion to approve our annual appropriation. I'll make that motion.
Leonard will second.
I also propose then the ordinances, amendments to the ordinance, and what we'll recognize as amendment number 1, the Mill Creek property tax revenue amendment.
very good.
Drew?
I'll move that, Fraz.
I'll second it.
Name, please.
John Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Discussion?
Yeah, just some background on this. The Mill Creek tax levy, this is the SSA tax levy, which is specific only to Mill Creek for improvements and maintenance for things only within Mill Creek. So it's paid for by its residents for their benefit. But that tax levy has been flat for 27 years since the project was built. The infrastructure is aging. We've been balancing the budget using some of our reserve funds, which are getting low. We did have a meeting of the Mill Creek SSA Advisory Board. We had a 100% attendance and they voted unanimously to support this tax levy increase. And this will allow us to continue to provide the expected level of services and also to rebuild those reserves.
Very good.
Any other discussion?
No, clerk, please call the roll.
Excuse me, is this for 509? Is that?
This is amendment. We're passing, we're taking a vote to amend number 1 to the ordinance, the Mill Creek. It's online.
It was a email from Mr. Anzik on Saturday.
Yes, well, Mr.
Can we
We
pull
can put that up on the screen if you, oh, it's up there.
It is right there.
There you go.
So,
Well, that's just specific to the number one. So yeah.
In amendment number 1.
amendment to 452.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Oh, we have,
Yes.
asked for roll call.
Although excuse me, I apologize, but I see that 21509 is adopting a tax levy for Mill Creek Special Service Area.
So that's not what is.
That's
on
a
the-
levy.
That's the levy.
It's the levy.
Levy is different.
That's a levy. It's a different story.
Okay. Are we
This
all
is a
good?
budget item, so we're putting that assumed levy, I guess, on the budget.
I'm sorry for the confusion.
That's fine. Good to ask questions. Questions are absolutely positive. All right, clerk, please call the roll. This is to amendment 1 to the Mill Creek property tax revenue.
This is amendment number 1.
Number 1.
Correct. It's amendment number 1, and this is how I want to understand it in my own head.
Okay.
So you have a motion on resolution 21-452, Mr. Berman, and Leonard seconded that, right?
Correct.
Now we have
We're amending it.
amendment for number 1 is by Fraz and then second by Martin.
Right.
Right. Yes.
And these next 6 amendments that we're going to be going over are all going to be incorporated into.
No.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we'll take them individually.
Individually.
All
One at a
righty.
time.
If this passes, then the main motion is amended
Right.
by this amendment.
this.
Got it.
And we'll
And then
have,
there will be subsequent.
right, amendments.
moved
Right.
To the total of 7, I believe.
Well, there's 7 possible ones.
Yes, possible.
All right.
Okay, we're amending.
Those 6 amendments, though,
There's
taken
some-
individually will go to 21-452.
Right.
Correct?
This
Okay,
one.
that's what I wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right,
They're
this is
Yes.
21-452. We're doing the amendment on this?
Correct.
Amendment number
Amendment
1.
number 1,
Amendment number 1, let me get this correctly.
Mill Creek.
So a yes vote, Shepro, a yes vote is to add
Just that one.
this to the appropriation and budget ordinance.
Right.
All right, on the amendment number 1. Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Fraz.
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie.
Hopefully, no.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Tepe, I'm sorry, Sturgis, Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Wallace, yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
Motion passes.
1 nay.
Very good. And Mr. Copey was a no vote? Okay.
The second amendment that I'd like to have proposed is amendment number 2, which Sheriff Hayne has volunteered to reduce the budget by $1 million.
I'd like to move that amendment.
Okay.
Leonard seconds.
Leonard?
Molina. Okay.
Our hearty thanks to Sheriff Hayne. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
This is on amendment number 2. Ellen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Fraz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Hope's got a question. Hope's got a question. Is that, did we have discussion on this or no?
I cannot hear you.
What was the question?
Did we have discussion on this amendment?
Well, we did offer discussion.
Yeah.
We did offer discussion.
No,
And
we
there's-
offered discussion on the past amendment, but not this amendment.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Okay, well, in any event, the $1,000 or the $1 million reduction in the sheriff's budget is allocated in another direction. Is that correct?
It's being
Cash on
reduced.
hand.
It's being reduced.
Being reduced,
Sheriff.
It's reducing
but is
the
it being
budget
allocated?
by $1
Being
million.
allocated. Is it being allocated in another fashion?
To the general fund.
The sheriff is unallocated.
Okay, that's what that's.
Sheriff had $1 million that was unallocated, and he's providing that back to the general fund.
Right.
That's what I understand. Thank you. My vote is no.
Okay. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Jepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges, Tepe,
Chappie, yes.
Wallace,
Wallace, yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes.
Motion passes.
The next amendment would be referred to as Amendment Number 7. And this is Dr. Iqbal suggested amendment to reduce the county portion of the county board members' insurance expense by 50%. I'd like this amendment to be brought up. Do we have a motion to approve it? Dr. Iqbal, do we have a second?
Lewis,
Do we have a second discussion?
Yes, Mr.
Surges?
Surges, yes.
My understanding of this is the board members paying more than insurance may be an Affordable Care Act violation. This is the first we've heard of this, but the ACA says that the employee's share of the coverage cannot exceed 10% of their income. Being that the board only makes 25,000, there's not a lot of wiggle room. We might want to do the math on this before we consider it, but I don't think this is an option. And I did present this to Madam Chair at the last meeting as well. But I'm not sure that's appropriate without doing the research on it.
Others,
I would move to.
Name, please.
Jepro, I would move to postpone this indefinitely pending review by the state's attorney as to whether or not we are able to even legally entertain this.
I will second that.
Okay.
a motion to postpone.
It's a motion to postpone.
Postpone indefinitely.
Number 7, motion is on the floor to postpone. I believe we need to call a roll call on
Right.
that. Yes. Roll call on the motion to postpone amendment number 7.
Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Board, yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, no.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Hopi,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, no.
I'm sorry,
No.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Jepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Chappie, no.
Wallace,
Wallace, yes.
and Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you.
Okay, so the 3 no votes are Mr. Iqbal
Iqbal, Lewis, and Tepe.
and Lewis and Tepe. Okay, very good. Thank you.
The next amendment proposing is amendment number 4. Adopting fiscal year, the board members are concerned about the 5% increase or
Amendment 3.
1,000?
Are we going to go back to number 3?
No,
No, not quite yet. He's
Okay.
got it. He's got it.
Okay, got it.
I'm saying 4.
Okay,
Yeah, we're fine. But all will be covered.
Would someone like to make a motion to approve amendment number 4?
Raz moves.
Gums will second.
Comes a second discussion?
Does everybody understand what this is?
I'm not sure I have a complete understanding of this. Can we have an explanation?
Sure. Yeah.
Mr. Hansick?
When the fiscal year 22 budget was drafted and put on public display, there was 5% of the RTA sales tax revenue, which equates to this $1,001,000 that was moved out of the transportation budget into the general fund budget to support public safety. It was done with the expectation that there would also be an increase to the county motor fuel tax of 2 cents a gallon that the board would approve later in fiscal year 22. So if that is not the intention of the board, this amendment then provides an option for you to move that $1 million back to transportation out of the general fund and to use the special reserve to fill that void that's left in the general fund to still keep the budget balanced.
Is everything clear? You understand what this is about now?
Bates, please.
Hold on, well, Mr. Shepherd, I think had his hand up.
My question just is, so in a sense, a yes vote on this amendment would put the transportation money back where it was before we started the other discussion.
Yes.
That's correct. That is correct. Ms. Bates?
Yes, so this is $1 million. Would this be made up for by the sheriff's generosity?
You could look at it that way, but I'm not necessarily, I mean,
Will this be the same money? More or less?
Not really. It's just, I mean, you could look at it that way. We're all talking about whether reserves are being used or not used. If you didn't move this money back, it just means that much less of the reserve would need to be used. But having approved of the sheriff's amendment, you've now put back $1 million into the reserve. So now you could use it in a sense by pulling it back out to accomplish this amendment.
And your recommendation, Mr. Hansick, was that we go ahead with this, correct?
Well, I think
to
honor the understanding that was in place, that this $1 million transfer was going to be done in conjunction with an increase in the county motor fuel tax. So if we're not going to increase the county motor fuel tax, then it would make sense to also not move this $1 million of RTA sales tax dollars. So it would just be consistent with the original understanding.
Thank you.
Yes.
Madam Chair, Surges. Joe, just so I'm understanding this, in my mind, that motor fuel tax increase, the 2%, was actually two different deadlines. You had an earlier one and a later one, and we were too late to make the earlier one. Is this saying that we intend in full not to do that?
Well, this really doesn't address that at all.
That's what I thought.
But what it does is it assumes you're not going to increase the county motor fuel tax, and therefore we want to move this $1 million back to transportation to keep them whole.
Perfect. Thank you for the clarity.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Caius. So we won't know because we skipped 3?
We're going to do that next.
We're going to do it.
But this is reliant on what we do for 3.
Right.
The
Correct.
sequence is just kind of fun.
Sequence?
Should we add? Yeah.
So no, we're right now just voting on, do you want to move $1 million back to transportation or not?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is Leonard speaking. I think it's important that we move the RTA sales tax back from the general fund to transportation so that when we vote on the motor fuel tax, that's not dependent on anything.
Okay.
That was my reason for sending this first.
Good move.
That was so much more eloquent.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Please, clerk, please call the roll.
Okay. Vote on amendment number 4. Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Fraz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
No.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Copy,
Opie, no.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
That passes.
And the 2 no votes were Strathman,
No.
No, Gums and Copy.
Gums, and Copey.
Gums.
Okay, thank you.
The next is the amendment number 3. Those that wish to increase 2% gallon county motor fuel tax.
Gums will move.
1 second.
Iqbal, second. Do we have discussion?
Yes.
Kenyon, I'll be voting no. This is one issue that's come up with my constituents, and they're tired of paying extra money at the pump. So we'll have to find another way to fix this, and not on the backs of the people who would affect at the lower end of the spectrum. If you got an electric car, it's okay. If you got a fuel burner like mine, I notice how expensive it is. So I urge the rest of you to vote no. Vote for the people.
Thank you. Yes, Mr.
Thank you,
Leonard.
Madam Chair. This is Leonard speaking. I will be voting no on this also because we have put back the $1 million we were proposing before to take from the RTA sales tax. We put that back into the transportation. So the need for additional funds isn't as imminent as it was before. So I will be voting no on this.
Mr. Shepro.
I will be voting no for the reasons articulated by Mr. Leonard, Mr. Kenyon.
Okay. Yes.
Tepe here. I also will be voting no because I've heard from my constituents on this and they don't want to be taxed more at the pump.
Oh, God.
Bates, please.
Ms. Bates.
I will be voting no because I believe this is a regressive tax that hurts low-income people the most.
Any further discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Iqbal.
Just for the clarification, would the chair clarify whether voting no mean no tax or voting no mean tax?
No tax.
It's
No additional motor fuel tax.
No mean no tax.
To
point of
clarify,
clarification.
it's a 2% a 2-cent increase on the existing tax.
Per gallon.
Per gallon.
If you want the tax,
Per
then you
gallon.
should pay yes, say yes. If you don't want the 2-cent tax, say no.
Correct. Correct. Yes, Mr.
I
Shepard.
believe technically, this is not a vote for or against imposing the tax. It is a vote to eliminate it from the proposed budget. It's a
Correct.
revenue item.
Yes.
Correct. That's
Remove it.
exactly correct.
We would, if
No.
if we do not eliminate it, we then would have to vote sometime in the future to increase the motor fuel tax 2 cents.
Correct.
Mhm.
And that would be done next year, early next year.
Right.
During the first quarter.
Right.
All right. Any other discussion? Not, clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, for the vote on amendment number 3, Allen,
Allen, no.
Bates,
Bates, no.
Berman,
Berman, no.
Brown,
Brown, no.
Davis,
Davis, no.
Ford,
Ford, no.
Fraz,
Raz, no.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
No.
Kenyon,
No.
Caius, no.
Opie,
Opie's a no. It's no is a no
Thank you.
tax.
thank you. Leonard,
Leonard, no.
Lewis,
Lewis, no.
Martin,
Martin, no.
Molina,
Molina, no.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, no.
Shepro,
Shepro, no.
Silva,
Silva, no.
Strathman,
Strathman, no.
Burgess,
Just no.
Tepe,
Tepe, no.
Wallace,
No.
Winnicke.
No.
Okay, motion failed, but
Motion failed.
Okay, and it was, the no vote was,
no vote wins.
The yes vote was.
I mean, the yes vote was Gums. Okay, very good.
All right, the next amendment proposed is amendment number 6, which is allows a 1.4% property tax increase to the general fund. We have a motion to approve.
Tepe moves.
Mr.
Tepe
Tepe,
moves.
Debbie moves.
Gums will second.
second.
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Ken.
Kenyon, in my district, again, my people are very sensitive to tax increases. We've had a difficult time the last couple of years. It's time for everybody to catch their breath. We got money to use to fill the gap from the federal government, the 103 million. So I'll be voting no this time.
Louis, I agree. I will also be voting no. My people are worried about how they're going to pay their electric bills and their heating bills this winter. And we can't add more tax right now.
Alan?
Ms. Allen?
I appreciate that. None of us wants to be paying extra taxes. The thing is that we have at the county been very disciplined over the last 8-9 years to make sure that we don't raise property taxes. And I think that that drill has forced our departments and our offices to be as strict with their money as they can be. I challenge us to deal with the problem that Microsoft is simply going to charge us more every year for the licenses that we have to have in order to run the county. I see that there are bills coming in on the insurance, on the medical expenses at our corrections facility, and food and psychiatric care, and those expenses go up. Also, I'd like to make sure that we protect our people. We have been doing very modest 2% raises for a number of years. But I believe that the special federal money that's coming in is money that we want to shoot back out into the communities. We want to use our county services to better their lives. We want to extend broadband. We want to extend health services. We want to use that ARP money to do extra things for our community. I think we need to do this modest increase in order to protect the expenses of running the county, our salaries for our people, and the fact that our bills have gone up some. So I will be voting yes for those reasons. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Molina.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Taxes is a really bad word in a lot of parts of this county, and I think it's an important word that we need to discuss and really define. But I also consider property taxes the most regressive tax. I will be voting no against this. We are all aware that we are still in the middle of a pandemic. We still have residents who are being buried because of the pandemic. We have people who have lost their jobs. We have a 6% increase in our inflation. We don't have the money right now to make ends meet, especially in my district. And while I understand where the county stands, and I understand that for the last 10 years, we haven't raised taxes, and I think it's an important discussion to have. We also have the spirit of the American Rescue Plan, which was this, to rescue municipalities who are in need of revenue recruitment because of pandemic, and to tell people that we received $200 million and then slap them in the face and say, but yeah, you can only, you can afford $16 more a year, I think is disrespectful. And I urge the rest of my county board members to vote against this at this time. Thank you.
Well said.
Mr. Tepe.
Well said.
Tepe here. As I've said in the past, this particular increase costs the typical homeowner $5 a year. $5 a year. We have not
increased this particular area for 10 years on this board, and I've been very critical of that. But as people have noted before me, our costs go up every year. The typical person on Social Security will be receiving about an $80 increase each month. Additional Social Security funds. That'll be offset by an increase in Medicare of $20 a month, but it's still about $60 a month that the average retiree can get. I sent an extensive email out and got about 20 responses from the people on my email list, and 18 of them were accepting of this, saying that we understand that the county needs more funds and we agree with you. So I will be voting yes for this.
Yes.
Mr. Caius? Excuse me. Well, I wrote a bunch of stuff here, but what it boils down to is that we have a crumbling infrastructure on our buildings. We have desks that are not filled because we can't hire. Our pay scale is so low that we can't even hire employees. And as Mr. Tepe pointed out, every legitimate government incorporates the CPI into their process, or eventually they go broke. We've been in this spiral or this flat spot for 8 years now. I think that it's a small thing to ask, and I'm opposed to raising taxes, but it isn't really a tax increase so much as it is just keeping up with the Joneses, trying to keep up so that we have all these arguments when we're in the board meeting here about how do we pay this? How are we going to come up with this money? And yet we still can't just take the simple step that most legitimate and responsible governments take of incorporating a cost of living increase in with our budget. So I will be voting yes on this one.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Ford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If we just look at this individually, it's one thing, but we have to look at what all our Kane County people have gone through financially. And then the picture is a lot bigger than just this. There are other things that have already been added to their cost list of what cost of living. On top of that, the jobs that have been lost, that they have to tighten up their budget to do what they have to do to survive. And also we've had businesses who had to do the same thing, and they're looking for us to do exactly the same thing. Also, my reason for voting no on this is that we need to take the time out to look at other options. The other options are out there, but we have to, like you said earlier, take off our jackets, roll up our sleeves, and go after and discuss and find out more information of the other options. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll. And does everybody realize, if Mr. Berman, can you refresh what we're going to be voting upon?
We're voting on whether we have an increase in the allowable increase on our property tax levy of 1.4%.
Ready?
Okay, amendment number.
Hold on.
Clarification.
Yes, clarification.
Again, this would be a vote to include a proposed levy increase, which would yet to be voted on in the budget revenue item.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Okay, ready?
I'm ready. Okay. Ellen?
Allen, aye.
Bates?
Bates, yes.
Berman?
Berman, yes.
Brown?
No.
Davis?
Davis, no.
Ford?
Ford, no.
Raz?
Rosno.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal?
Iqbal, no.
Kenyon?
No.
Caius?
Yes.
Opie?
Sophie, no.
Leonard?
Leonard, no.
Lewis, no.
Martin?
No.
Molina?
Molina, no.
Sanchez?
Sanchez, no.
Shepro,
Shepro, no.
Silva,
Silva, no.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, no.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
No.
and Winnicki.
No.
All right, that fails.
Motion
Motion
fails.
failed.
And could you please list the names of the board members who voted yes, please?
Those that voted in favor were Allen, Bates, Berman, Gums, Caius, Strathman, and Tepe.
Thank you.
So it's 7.
Mhm. Okay, very good.
All right, next amendment would be amendment number 5. And this is the allowable use of ARPA funds to reimburse the county for lost revenue calculated using assumed annual growth rate of 4.1%. And this is something we've discussed quite frequently. We have a motion to approve.
Martin moves.
Molina seconds.
Discussion?
Okay.
Surges?
Yes.
Yeah, Drew, help me. Number 5, where did you see that 4% language?
4.1% is the allowable growth rate that they used, that
I fear I'm on the wrong
used to
thing.
calculate
Joe's summary.
what is.
I'm in Joe's summary and I don't, was your, it's just different.
No.
Well,
And it says, yes, it does. The lost revenue calculated using assumed annual growth rate of 4.1%, very first sentence. You see it?
No, it's.
It's not in the summary.
There were two options that we looked at, or Joe looked at, and I think that the final analysis was that our growth rate demanded the 4.1%.
Not doubting it, just saying.
Oh, okay.
What I'm looking at doesn't say what you just said.
Oh, okay. Did
Looking
you
at-
actually look at,
this.
Well, you're not looking at the amendment that's
Email.
presented on up above.
you're looking at something different? There
Pardon?
were,
I'm looking at the email from Saturday. Is that not what I'm supposed to be looking at?
oh,
Oh, no.
Look at the Zoom shared
this is-
screen.
we have a,
yeah. If it wasn't included, I apologize. I thought I kept everything the same when I split it out into individual pages.
No, Blair, you're okay.
Mr., while we're looking at that, Mr.
My, Shepro, my understanding was that the 4% was simply a finding that we made a long time ago, or it seems like a long time ago, that set the stage for the initial division, if you will, of the funds. And is not something new for this discussion. Am I?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm satisfied with that, yes. Thanks.
Okay. That's correct. And it's 4.1%. Little extra.
That's how we arrived at the number that we, that qualifies us to utilize the funds from our.
Mhm.
All right.
Correct. Is there any further,
Any other?
any further discussion on this? And
Bates, please.
yes, Ms. Bates?
I have several times given my opinion that we are using too much of the art money to plug holes in the budget instead of using it for more direct purposes like broadband, extra things that could really improve our county instead of plugging holes in the dam. So I will be voting no on this.
Any other discussion? Okay, Mr. Beardwood, before we call the vote, I think we're ready. Can you please review one more time what we're voting on?
We're voting on a use of the ARPA funds. $16,170,000 to be used to balance the budget. Basically.
All right,
They move it.
next, we're ready to go. Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, for amendment number 5, Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
No,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, no.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, no.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis. I'm sorry, Sturgis.
Surges, no.
No.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes 4 nays, which are Bates, Bates, Gums, Copey, and Sturgis.
And Surges. Okay.
Well, I think certainly was a necessity to use this money. There was no other options to balance the budget that I see. So our no votes are saying that we did not propose another balance to the budget other than this one. So
Madam
to
Chair.
move along with the,
Comment?
I don't,
Yeah.
yes.
I guess I just want to be clear, we're saying this money was used to balance the budget, but I mean,
That's
it's
part of
important
it.
to say that these were allowable uses under the ARPA funds.
They are allowable
We didn't
uses.
just grab this money and say we're going to balance the budget. These are expenses that we incurred and that we're reimbursing ourselves for.
Absolutely. No, these are very allowable uses. Yes.
Just a follow-up comment, I believe that the purpose of the statute explicitly was to, and I think Ms. Molina pointed this out, was to allow recoupment of revenue that was lost due to the pandemic. So not only is it an allowable use, I think it's a use that the Congress felt we should take advantage of.
That is correct.
Madam Chair, Surges, and again, I voted no on this, but just because of lack of information, not conceptually, you and I have discussed that I'm in full agreement with this. I just didn't realize the number had grown from 9 million to 16 million, and I just need more data. But if the vote is right now today, then mine is no, but not in concept though. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. We're back now to item 21-452, the original motion as amended.
Please.
Yeah, I was going to say, go to 21, 452,
As amended, as amended, as amended.
You summarize the adopted amendments? All right, I mean, don't just list them. You don't need to summarize them.
Okay, so we are about ready to take a vote on item number 21452.
And I have
With the
amendment
following,
one.
with the following amendments. We have the annual appropriation. We have Sheriff Hayne. We have motor fuel tax. We have 5%
We
back
rejected
to
the motor
RTA.
No,
RTA
we
money back.
rejected the motor fuel tax.
But that's all the amendments. And that
Oh,
was rejected. That was
Okay,
rejected.
my question was, what has passed from the
Gotcha.
amendments?
Okay, we'll clarify that again. So adopting the fiscal year, the Mill Creek. We have the Sheriff Hayne. We have the number 4.
The
We have the
RTA.
RTA sales tax. Where we have the special reserve fund, that is number 5.
Oh,
Number
That's,
6.
The appropriations.
The
annual
appropriations.
appropriations.
And number 6.
We have the,
That's it.
Yeah, that's.
no, and the property tax levy was a no.
Right.
Increasing the property tax levy.
No.
It's items. 1,
Number
2,
6 failed,
Items 1,
and
2,
number
4,
7 failed.
Right. 1, 2, 4,
Was a
5.
yes
3,
to
6, and 7
postpone.
Appropriations
failed.
with the amendments.
Yes. All right.
And Chair number 7 was yes to postpone.
Postpone, correct. Thank you for the clarification. Absolutely, to postpone. All right, everyone clear? Yes, Ms. Molina.
To be super clear,
1, 2.
we are voting on the annual appropriations, including amendments 1, 2, 4, and 5.
1, 2.
Yes.
4,
Yes,
and 5.
Thank you.
Correct.
Yes.
correct. All right. Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Okay. Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
No.
Iqbal,
No.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Kopi,
Hope you know,
Was that a no? Or a yes?
hope is a no. And
thank you. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Chepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, no.
Tepe,
Tepe, no.
Wallace,
Wallace, yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
It passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nays.
Okay, and who is the no votes?
No votes are Gums, Iqbal, Hopi, Surges, and Tepe.
All right. Okay, we have a budget.
Okay.
Okay, so, sir, please.
We move on with the tax levies.
Yes,
Item 21-453, adopting a tax levy for the general fund.
Martin moves.
Martin moves,
Kenyon, second.
Kenyon seconds, discussion.
discussion? No? Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Hopi,
hope you know,
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis, Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Chepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
For 453, Silva is no.
okay, Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges is no.
Tepe,
Tepe, no.
Wallace,
Wallace, yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
Passes 1, 2, 3, 4 nays.
Next item is number
were the four nays?
23-454,
21-45.
Want me to repeat those nays?
adopting the tax levy for
Excuse me,
insurance
just-
liability fund.
Just a second, please.
Martin,
Let,
second.
just get the no's. So
For the nays on vote, resolution 21-453 are as follows. Kopi voted nay, Silva, Surges, and Tepe voted nay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Motion for -454, Martin and Kenyon. Discussion?
seeing no discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Hopi,
hope you know,
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Chepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, no.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
and Wallace,
Wallace, yes.
Winnicki.
Yes.
That passes. Nays are Copy and Silva.
Next item is number 21-455, adopting a tax levy for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund.
Leonard moves.
Leonard moves,
Minneke seconds.
Warnicki seconds. Discussion?
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Ellen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Copy,
Copy, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes.
Passes. Very good.
Next is 21-456, adopting a tax levy for the Social Security Fund.
Shepro moves.
Ellen, second.
We have a second discussion?
Seconds.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Ellen, I.
Bates.
Aye. Bates, aye.
Go ahead.
Bates, aye.
Thank you. Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz, Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Copy, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, no.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Pepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes. One nay. Silva,
And the next is item number 21-457, adopting a tax levy for the County Highway Fund.
Raz moves.
Bos moved, Martin second. Discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Ellen,
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Ellen, I.
Thank you. Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Copy, no.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
That passes with one nay, which is Copy.
Next item is 21-458, adopting a tax levy for the County Bridge Fund.
Raz moves.
Bos moves,
Martin, second.
Martin second. Discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Ellen, I.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Caius,
Well, unless we can put a toll on it.
a Copy, Mr. Copy. Okay, thank you. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Pepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes unanimously.
And the next is item 21-458,
Oh, no, 459.
459.
459, adopting a tax levy for the County Highway Matching Fund.
Raz moves.
Martin seconds.
Okay.
Open for discussion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Jepro,
Is this 58 or 59?
59.
9.
9.
Yes.
Silva,
Yeah.
Silva is yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Next item is 21-460, adopting the tax levy for the Kane County Health Fund.
Molina moves.
Alina moves,
I second.
Guy second, discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz, Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Jepro,
Jepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Next item number 21-461, adopting a tax levy for the Veterans Commission Fund.
Kenyon moves.
Jepro, second.
Onion Shepherd, discussion, please.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen, Miss Allen, your vote.
Allen, aye.
Thank you. Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Jepro,
Oh, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace, and Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Item number 21-462, adopting a tax levy for the Shirewood Farm Special Service Area. Martin moves,
Winnicke second.
Warnicki second, discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen,
we missed you. Can you repeat that?
oh, sure. Allen, aye.
Thank you. Bates,
The question, is this correct? Appropriation amounts $110?
That is accurate.
Well, aye then.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Jepro,
Jepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Item number 21-463, adopting a tax levy for the Wildwood West Special Billing Area.
Winnicke moves.
Warnicki moves,
Davis, second.
Davis second, discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Kopey,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Chevrolet, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Item number 21-464, adopting a tax levy for the Shovel Diesel Special Billing Area.
Raz moves.
Rouse moves.
Winicky
Winicky
seconds.
second, discussion.
Winnicke seconds, okay.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Kopey,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Chevrolet, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
That passes.
Oh, item dash 465, 21-465, adopting the tax levy for the Plank Road Estates Special Billing Area.
Winicky moves.
Winicky moves.
Martin, second.
Martin second, discussion.
Okay, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown, Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Kopey. Kopey. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Chevrolet, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman, Burgess, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Mr. Kopey, did you have
Kopey,
a
yes.
vote? Okay, thank you.
Back on.
Opie, yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Is it? Item number 21-466, adopting a tax levy for the Exposition View Special Billing Area.
Ford moves.
Ford moves.
Leonard, second.
Leonard second, discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Raz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Kopey. Mr. Kopey,
Opie, yes.
thank you. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Chevrolet, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Item number 21-467, adopting a tax levy for the Pasadena Drive Special Billing Area.
Winicky moves.
Winicky moves.
Raz second.
Rouse second, discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Rathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Item number 21-468, adopting a tax levy for the Tamara Dittman Special Service Area.
Winnicke moves.
Monica moves,
Martin seconds.
Martin second. Discussion?
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown, Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz.
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie. Mr. Colby,
Opie, yes.
thank you. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
That passes. Running out of energy.
Item number 21-469, adopting a tax levy for the church monitor special service area.
Silva moves, please.
Silva
Bates,
moves,
second. Bates, second.
Bates second. Discussion?
Seeing none, and I assume this is in Aurora. Clerk, please call the roll.
It
Listen
is.
correctly.
Silva's district.
Okay, Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz.
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Kopey,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes, and thank you.
Strathman,
Yes.
Sturgis, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Item number 21-470, adopting a tax levy for the 45W185 Plank Road Special Service Area.
Winnicke moves.
Monica Martin second. Discussion?
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz.
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Ow.
And item number 21-471, adopting a tax levy for the Crane Road Estates Special Billing Area.
Winnicke moves.
Davis moves.
Hold on just a second, please. Yes, sir.
I have,
E. Davis, discussion?
Leonard has developed an aura.
They always had one.
He always had an aura.
Take a picture of him.
Whoosh. Sorry.
They have
But I have to correct you, or at least amend that. There's no aura from my perspective.
There you go.
okay. Roll call for 471. Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, I.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz.
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Davis is for it, I'm for it, yes.
Dr. Silva.
Silva, yes.
Okay. Strathman,
Yes.
Sturgis, Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
That passes.
Item number 21-472. We've moved right along here, and I guess I don't know where we really stand on this, Joe. Maybe you can clarify everything.
This is the resolution that would have changed the RTA sales tax allocation so that 5% would have been moved out of transportation and added to the general fund for public safety. But since you voted against doing that in terms of the budget, then I would advise that you also vote against this resolution or table it or whatever the proper
Fraz
action.
moves the table.
Surges second.
Move the table, Franz. Who had a second?
Surges.
Surges second.
Table to win.
Discussion.
Can we
Able
just
to win.
vote against it?
Hold on just
They,
a second. We have Ms. Neerman's up, so there may be an issue
Postpone?
Just vote against. it.
Without date, it's indefinite.
to post.
Okay, I will change that. A motion to postpone. Second.
Indefinitely.
Surges second.
We need to clarify that. Mr. Frost, would you please, or could you consider changing the motion to postpone indefinitely?
Yeah, I will make the motion to postpone indefinitely.
Thank you. And is that all right with you, Mr. Surges?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. None, clerk, please call the roll to postpone indefinitely, resolution number 21-472.
Correct. Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown, Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Copey,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was a motion to table indefinitely.
Postpone,
Postpone.
postpone.
Postpone. Item number 21-473, authorizing fiscal year 2022 non-union wage increase. Move Kenyon second. Discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Copey,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes.
Ooh, item number 21-474, establishing guidelines for releasing general fund contingency budget for new personnel, autopsy expense, and adult board and care expense. Kenyon moves, Martin second. Discussion.
Okay, so it's our now. Okay.
Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Fraz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Copey,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Brathman, Burgess,
Surges, yes.
Pepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
And item number 21-509, adopting a tax levy for Mill Creek Special Service Area.
Raz moves.
Bos
Eight
moves,
second. Eight second.
Bates second, discussion.
Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen,
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Braz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Kopi,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicke.
Yes.
That
Very good.
passes.
We've already taken action on number 21-510. That's the end of our tax levy.
All right. Congratulations, you passed a budget. Hey.
Oh.
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
I would just like to note that today is November 30th, which is the 147th birthday of the Right Honorable Winston Churchill. And it's also St. Andrew's Day, so for those of you who are Scots, it is their national day.
You're here.
Keep those facts in there.
And I would suggest that we therefore should take the rest of the day off and celebrate with the Scots.
Celebration.
I think-
And more importantly, it's Melody Davis' birthday too.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, then for sure.
Catch.
I think since it's Churchill's birthday, we should all have a toast.
Or a cigar.
Both.
Believe the toast is Paul Roger.
You bring it, we'll toast it.
All right, I don't think that there is any need for executive session. So I'd like to have a motion and a second to adjourn our meeting to December 14th, 2021. If you so choose.
Strathman seconds.
Thank you. Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.